Hallo meine Lieben und willkommen zu einer neuen Aufnahme von der Council. Lange haben wir gewartet, dass es weitergeht. Ich hoffe, es funktioniert jetzt alles so, wie ich es mir vorgestellt habe. Und ich sage, wir laden mal den Spielstand.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wurden, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
I do apologize for being late. I was obliged to clear up some urgent business.
Okay, es geht wirklich verwirrend los, weil in der letzten Folge sind wir ja noch mit der einen Dame da untergegangen. Gedanken zur Kunst, Betrachtung über die französische Revolution, mal bitte, ich kann nicht lesen. Die Leiden des jüngsten Wärters. Okay. Kann ich mehr auswählen? Cool. Ich bin echt gespannt. Ich habe mich schon so gefreut, dass es weitergeht.
Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. Unfortunately, I am now confronted with another problem, which I would rather have done without. You see, last night, Miss Adams also went missing.
Sie ist nicht verschwunden.
And why is that? Can you tell me more?
I have had my people searching for her all over the island. Alas, to no avail. It so happens that both her mental and her physical health are extremely fragile. I'm worried that the same thing happened to her as to your mother. Also, I would appreciate it very much if you could tell me what you were doing on the floor in her room in the early hours
It's quite
of the
normal.
morning.
I can explain everything.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear it. You see, Sir Gregory is about to arrive, and he's taken Elizabeth's disappearance very, very seriously. Please, reassure him so that we can talk about your mother.
Okay, ich muss gleich
William,
wieder schauen, dass ich
I would like to see you a moment before we begin. In private.
Let's step outside a moment. Louis, this will only take a few moments.
Okay, teilweise bin ich froh, dass mein Englisch nicht ganz so schlecht ist. Auf alle Fälle, Elithabeth ist jetzt verschwunden. So hieß ja die Dame, bei der wir waren. Und ja, das Arbeitszimmer durchsuchen.
Alright, let's take this chance to look around.
So. Ich habe das jetzt nicht gelesen, ich
Please,
Trottel.
sit back down, Louis.
This sort of behavior is not working in your favor, young man.
Gregory, Louis told me we needn't be concerned.
Of course. Monsieur de Richet, the situation seems to escape your grasp, so I won't beat about the bush. Did you kill Elizabeth Adams?
What are you talking about? I only helped her. We talked and she wanted to leave. I imagine that's what she did, right?
We have found no trace of her leaving, monsieur. So allow me to have my doubts.
Nor have we found any reason to believe that Louis is lying. We must remain calm, Gregory. We have found no evidence that would suggest that Elizabeth has been murdered. For the time being, she has only disappeared. Let's stick to the facts, if you please.
Well, where is she then?
Is it then?
I'm not absolutely sure, but I'd wager she's gone to visit her sister.
I beg your pardon?
Good Lord! You mean Abigail?
Yes, they've been keeping in touch by mail. Elizabeth always dreamt of meeting her. I wouldn't be surprised if she went to see her.
Damnation, William. This is a fiasco. Sir, you don't seem to realize just how serious this is.
Let's try and remain calm, Gregory. In any case, it would be far better if Elizabeth really has left the island, as Louis says. Why do you think she wanted to leave?
She was persuaded she was going to die. When she saw that you had invited my mother, she thought that you wanted to put an end to her. She felt betrayed.
But why didn't she speak to me about it?
Elizabeth had nothing to fear from us. You know very well who she was afraid of, but you don't dare say.
She was terrorized by my mother's presence here. Just the thought of coming face to face with her was unbearable.
Did she tell you why?
Yes, she brought the subject up.
I'm sorry, Louis. It couldn't have been easy to hear.
For your sake, I sincerely hope that she got there safely. Monsieur de Richet, I apologize if my words seemed a little abrupt. I dare not think what would happen if Elizabeth came across your mother on the island. Your generosity may well cost you dearly.
I understand, my lord. I certainly regret it.
You don't need us for any of this. So come along, Monsieur Peru. We are leaving.
Okay.
Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
So ist sie ganz einfach. Sie ist nicht verschwunden. Sie versteckt sich. Soll ich ehrlich sein zu dem?
When I first came here, I wasn't that worried. In the past, my mother has taken a few liberties during her missions, including disappearing for several days on end.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the canon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me. Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play. And I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
If only my mother trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
Is this usual for her?
As head of the Order, secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I am sure that Sarah will explain everything once she reappears. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she is wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. von Wulner, and myself.
It seems you're close friends. What can you tell me about Sir Gregory?
Gregory? Oh, he's one of those cantankerous old men who hates losing at chess. He's a little eccentric and rather conservative. I'm sure you've met the type.
Well, actually, I don't judge people on how they look.
And you do well not to. What with his manner of continuing to wear makeup as he does, Gregory often gives off an unhealthy image. The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
Genug über sie geredet. Was ist mit ihrem Verschwinden?
Tell me about her disappearance.
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
Emily has a twin sister? Who knew my mother? What's she playing at, goddammit? That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
One last thing, although I don't know if there is a connection.
I'm listening.
A gate was forced the other night near the wharf. Nothing serious, just a few small things damaged.
Sorry, my lord, but I was searching for leads to my mother. I thought I was hot on her trail and didn't take any precautions.
Well, you could have reported it to a servant. But never mind. I shall put it down to your ardor and anxiety. However, please try to respect my estate in future.
I certainly will. Please accept my sincerest apologies.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Ich vertraue dem nicht. Der ist zu freundlich.
The room is just opposite Mortimer's study.
Gehe zum Turmzimmer. Wir sind hier. Bonapartes Zimmer des jungen Soldaten. Adams Zimmer. Der Richets Zimmer. Also das ist unseres. Obergeschoss. Okay. So, wie war das nochmal mit dem Laufen? Achso. Ich weiß jetzt gerade nicht, welches Zimmer das ist. Ah, ist das Turmzimmer? Schauen wir mal.
A cache.
Ach ja, das ist ja wieder das Spiel mit der geilen Steuerung. Okay, hier ist zugeschlossen.
Door appears to be locked on the other side. I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor.
Ich kann das noch nicht.
I'm gonna need something to help me get the key that fell on the floor. The door was closed from the inside. Would Mother have provided something within reach to recover it?
Okay. Ich suche jetzt mal was, ein Papier oder so.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Okay. Wieder komische Bilder.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Okay.
Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Ich brauche da so ein... Das geht sowieso noch nicht. Ich habe Schwierigkeitsstufe 3 noch nicht. Warte mal. Rechter Mausklick passiert nicht. Das ist nichts. Das ist das hier. Ich kann hier auf die Talente gehen, ja. Die Eigenschaften habe ich. Muss mich da erst wieder reinfuchsen. Wir haben jetzt schon lange nicht gespielt. Sammlermünzen. Okay. Mit das geht jetzt gerade nicht. Stellt 2 Konzentrationspunkte wieder her. Das offenbart Immunitäten und Schwächen. Der nächste Fertigkeitssatz kostet dich nichts. Hebt negative Effekte auf. Okay, weil das wusste ich jetzt alles nicht mehr. Okay, hier ist nix.
What is this disc?
Mitnehmen. Okay. Inventar. Aber teilweise frage ich mich schon, wie ich das dann verwenden kann.
Dante's paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays. Dante's paradise.
Okay.
Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Okay. Okay.
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, We must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
So, drücke rechts, um deine Notizen anzuzeigen. Sie schreibt, wir müssen eine sichere Kommunikationsmethode finden. Jemand ist uns auf die Spur gekommen. Sie vertrauen in meinen Glauben an den Was? Haben Sie Vertrauen in den Glauben an den Mann mit dem Schwert?
There are burnt papers in the
Ja, das haben wir schon.
Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She said,
man kann es aber nicht überspringen.
Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be?
Okay.
Who could she be suspicious of? We must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Okay, jetzt darf ich da jetzt nicht mehr drauf drücken, weil das wird nämlich... Was ist denn das jetzt? Vorher war das da unten, oder? Es ist sicher wieder dasselbe. Ich vertraue dem gerade nicht. Ich habe jetzt die Scheibe. Ich glaube, dass ich vielleicht mit der Scheibe die Tür öffnen kann. Gut, der probiert das jetzt nochmal normal. Das haben wir schon, die Scheibe benutzen.
See if it works.
Geht doch.
It's open.
Ja, nee. Wenn du sie aufgemacht hast, ist sie offen. Ach du Kacke. Gut. Die Dinger sind nämlich selten. Und wir brauchen da definitiv immer wieder ein paar, um normale und richtige, schlaue Antworten zu geben. So als wären wir intelligent und so. Ja, jetzt haben wir es eh gesehen. Ich glaube nicht, dass es so wichtig wird.
Amber.
Amber. Amber erinnert mich wieder an Life is Strange. Rachel Amber.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Okay. Fingerabdrücke drauf.
St. John is known as the youngest of Christ's apostles. Well, we often give credit to St. John for having written about the apocalypse in the last book of the Bible.
Schön. Jetzt haben wir hier schon Allgemeinbildung oder so.
The New Testament.
What? Das Evangelium und die Apostelgeschichte.
And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in Jordan.
Ja, jetzt das Buch analysieren wäre vielleicht schlauer.
This volume dates from the first edition by Gutenberg. It's the first book that was ever printed. The pages are covered in annotations in Latin, French, and Hebrew. Someone spent years studying this Bible.
Okay, und das
This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord. A volume of the Gutenberg Bible.
Okay, brauchen wir jetzt...
Come back later.
Vielleicht brauchen wir später noch was davon. Ich meine, ich kenne die Bibel. So ist es jetzt nicht. Ich bin auch so ein gläubiger Mensch. Muss auch nicht für jeden was sein. Sagen wir mal so. Schäme mich auch nicht dafür oder so. Muss ich ja auch nicht. Und ja.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Okay. Ich habe keinen Schlüssel.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Ich habe keinen Schlüssel. Das heißt, uns fehlt noch was. Uns fehlt noch was. Uns fehlt noch was. Aber ich würde sagen, meine Lieben, wir schauen uns weiter in der nächsten Folge. Ich hoffe, euch hat die Folge gefallen und ich würde sagen, bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao, ciao.